The traditional paper umbrella may look delicate, but in fact, it carries with it over 2,000 years of ingenuity, artistry, and symbolism. Its origins stretch all the way back to China in the early centuries of the Common Era, making it not just a handy tool for keeping off the rain or the sun, but a cultural treasure that still speaks of China's history and traditions today. Now, umbrellas themselves didn't begin in China. If we trace human creativity even further back, historians point to ancient Egypt over 3.5 millennia ago, where parasols made from palm leaves shaded royalty and high officials from the scorching desert sun. Yet China was where umbrellas transformed from simple shades into true works of engineering and art. Around 2,000 years ago, the earliest Chinese craftsmen crafted umbrellas not from leaves, but with light bamboo frames and canopies of silk or carefully treated paper. The innovation that made the Chinese umbrella truly special was water resistance. By brushing the paper or silk with wax, lacquer, and later tung oil, they created a canopy that could withstand not only sunshine, but also heavy rainfall. Suddenly, the umbrella was not only a symbol of rank and privilege, it was practical, beautiful, and durable. But let's not lose sight of how powerful these objects appeared in ancient times. In Chinese society, the umbrella wasn't just something to grab during a drizzle. It was a mark of status. The wider the span of the umbrella, and the more attendants required to hold it, the more important the person beneath it was believed to be. Imagine a scene: an emperor traveling through the city with 24 attendants carrying an enormous parasol above his chariot. Even before he spoke a word, the umbrella said everything. It was a portable throne of prestige. Archaeological discoveries give us remarkable proof. In the mausoleum of Emperor Qin Shi Huang, the legendary first emperor of a unified China, stands the awe-inspiring Terracotta Army, thousands of life-sized clay soldiers and horses that were meant to protect him in the afterlife. Among the bronze chariots excavated there, umbrellas are mounted elegantly on their sides. We can't say for certain if those original umbrellas were made from paper or silk, or whether they folded up neatly or not, but the presence of the design tells us loud and clear. Umbrellas were part of daily and ceremonial life long before the modern foldable version we know today. Speaking of hidden mechanics, Chinese history also records the emergence of collapsible umbrellas, a clever idea that came long before telescoping aluminum rods. Written accounts from as early as 20,000 CE mention Emperor Wang Mang's chariot being decorated with umbrellas that could extend and retract thanks to articulated joints. Centuries later, archaeologists unearthed one of these collapsible wonders from the tomb of his son, confirming that this wasn't just legend, but ingenious design. Even more surprising, some fragments discovered in Luoyang suggest collapsible umbrellas may have been around as early as the 6th century BCE, pushing the story even further back. So, what went into making these marvels? The process is anything but simple. Constructing a paper umbrella involves crafting multiple elements: the shade, the ribs, the handle, the central headpiece, and of course, the decoration that truly brings it to life. If the umbrella folds, artisans must also create the articulation mechanism. In total, a single umbrella can pass through over 80 individual steps before completion. Silk umbrellas, luxurious and rare, were treasured by only the wealthy. They shimmered beautifully, but required careful upkeep. Paper umbrellas, meanwhile, became the true star. Made from paper treated with tung oil, they transformed into water-resistant shields that were practical, affordable, and surprisingly long-lived. The bamboo chosen for the ribs usually had to be at least 5 years old, ensuring it was both flexible and strong enough to bend with the elements. Then came the decoration, perhaps bold single colors like red for prosperity, yellow for nobility, or blue for tranquility, or detailed paintings of peonies, cranes, or landscapes so intricate they transformed the umbrella into a walking canvas. And here's where symbolism bloomed. In Chinese culture, umbrellas embody far more than physical shelter. In feng shui, they are spiritual shields. The round canopy represents heaven, its ribs channeling blessings downward. Red umbrellas, often seen in weddings, symbolize fertility and luck. Yellow, historically, was reserved for emperors, embodying power and cosmic balance. Even placing umbrellas in homes is considered auspicious, a guard against negative energy or poison arrows from poorly aligned designs. Weddings gave the paper umbrella a starring role. A bright red umbrella, part of the bride's dowry, is used during the wedding day ceremony. As the bride leaves her home, her father, or sometimes a bridesmaid, holds the umbrella over her head to shield her from evil spirits. Rice is sprinkled onto both the canopy and the wedding car, a rain of blessings to ensure prosperity, joy, and good fortune. Umbrellas were just as important in other rituals. At funerals, black or white umbrellas symbolized mourning and served as spiritual guards for both the dead and the living. In temple festivals, parasols made of silk in dazzling colors were carried above the statues of deities during parades, acting as protective canopies that connected the mortal and the divine. Different regions of China developed their own umbrella traditions. Fujian and Hunan became famous for their durable, hand-painted umbrellas, often adorned with motifs like lotus flowers for purity or cranes for long life. In Sichuan, umbrellas displaying vivid opera scenes turned into both tools and cultural souvenirs. Meanwhile, in Yunnan's ethnic festivals, especially among the Bai and Yi people, umbrellas in every imaginable color appear in parades and dances, blending artistry with community celebration. The umbrella also found a permanent place in art, literature, and performance. In Chinese opera, when a delicate female role entered holding a parasol, the audience instantly understood her refinement. A traveling scholar carrying one announced his journey. On stage during festivals, dances with umbrellas created spiraling, flowing patterns, evoking the cycles of harmony and reunion. In poetry, the fragile oil paper umbrella became a metaphor for fleeting beauty, for tenderness sheltering against life's storms, for love lingering under rainy skies. Tang and song poets immortalized it as an object of nostalgia and romance. But this Chinese creation didn't remain inside China's borders. Through trade and cultural exchange, the umbrella traveled across Asia. Japan's famous wagasa, subtle and earthy, emerged from Chinese models. Thailand's bright bo-sang umbrellas burst with festival colors, but trace their roots back to the same bamboo frame and paper canopy process. Other countries in Southeast Asia adopted umbrellas too, weaving them into their own unique customs. This gentle spread shows how a single invention blossomed into countless local symbols. Of course, with all this admiration came superstition. One of the most enduring is linked to the Chinese word for umbrella, san, which sounds like the word for separation. To give an umbrella as a gift could be interpreted as wishing a relationship apart. But clever cultural loopholes came to the rescue. If you give a coin in exchange, the gift is reframed as a purchase, neatly avoiding ill fortune. And to this day, opening an umbrella indoors is thought to invite bad luck, or worse, wandering spirits. Even now, when nylon umbrellas produced by the millions dominate sidewalks worldwide, China's hand-painted paper umbrellas remain cherished. They appear in fashion shoots, films, wedding photography, and tourist districts where rows of umbrellas hang overhead, turning entire streets into glowing art galleries. They carry with them not only utility, but memory, history, and beauty. Fun facts bring this story full circle. The Chinese character for umbrella, san, looks strikingly like a folding umbrella. Shengyu, a single district in modern China, is home to over 1,000 factories producing umbrellas of every sort. And while leather umbrellas, expensive and rare, once served as luxury fashion for nobles in ancient times, it was the simple Chinese innovation of oil-treated paper that changed the world, giving humanity its first truly rain-proof umbrella. So the next time you spot a delicate paper umbrella, maybe in a dance performance, hanging in a shop, or caught mid-spin in a photographer's portrait, remember, it isn't just a pretty object. It's the legacy of centuries of artistry, symbolism, and invention. It's a bridge between the practical and the poetic, a tool that not only kept the rain off emperors, but also sheltered hopes, blessings, and dreams. The Chinese paper umbrella is not just shelter from the weather, it is shelter for the spirit, a resilient and beautiful marker of how tradition and artistry endure across time. For more details on this topic, check out the corresponding article on our website. You can find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.